So good morning, everybody. My name is KM Chow, and I am from the AML Holdings Limited. I'll be the moderator of this breakout section. So good morning to you all. And this session is about Hong Kong as a fundraising platform. Today, we have invited two renowned speakers, Mr. Ali Asselin and Mr. Edward Choi. So for case study one, we will have Mr. Ali Asselin, CEO and co-founder of New Sight Imaging. New Sight Imaging is an Israeli company which develops advanced CMOS image sensor chips. CMOS means complementary metal oxide semiconductor. It has raised US 7 million in its recent fundraising round. The investment brings New Sight's total funding, including government grants, to a total of US 19.5 million, and will help the company aggressively expand its sales and marketing efforts, as well as broaden and accelerate product development. And for the case study two, we will have Mr. Edward Choi, CEO of AE Majoris Group. AE Majoris is a financial consultancy group founded in 2012 and headquartered in Hong Kong, China. The group companies hold comprehensive SFC, which is the Securities and Futures Commission licenses for regulated financial market activities, together with CPA, that is Certified Public Accountant, and TCSP, which is the Trust and Company Service Providers licenses, in order to provide one-stop tailor-made financial solutions to its clients, especially on services of corporate advisory and private equity investments. AE Majoris completed tens of IPOs on Hong Kong Stock Exchange across multiple industries, some of which are remarkable with remarkable market capitalization at listing of over 10 billion Hong Kong dollars, which is equivalent to US 1.28 billion. Diversifying its focus to align with the recent Hong Kong Stock Exchange reform to promote innovative companies from new economy, AE Majoris prioritized its business and investments on the healthcare and medtech sector, facilitating approximately US 50 million in private equity investments in the last 3 years. So first, let's welcome Ali to share his stories. Ali, the floor is yours. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, Dr. Chow, and thank you very much, HKTDC, for the opportunity to share our company presentation and actually, share our success story. So my name is Ali Asselin. I'm a CEO and co-founder of New Sight Imaging. New Sight Imaging is an Israeli company developing. Basically, we develop sensor chip, but in the latest years, we became also a healthcare provider, and I will explain how. Basically, we are active in 40 countries right now. We have two main business units, one for machine vision and one for spectral analysis. Since this session today is about healthcare, we will focus more on healthcare, but we have basically two divisions. And the idea of the company, I mean, the mission of the company is to enable disruptive sensing everywhere. So once we are building our sensor chip, it looks like this. Okay, you see how small it is. It's a sensor camera. We can do and place it everywhere. And indeed, our current, market that we tackle, it looks very different, but actually it's coming from the same idea of sensor chip, which is a camera. So we have a spectral in which we have established two sub companies, one for water monitoring, spectral water monitoring. The second is a healthcare company together with one of the most known hospital in the world, Sheba Hospital, Israeli hospital. And the second part is more chips for 3D, machine vision, automotive, and so on. So our main partners are Israeli fab, Tower Jazz. We are also collaborating with Fraunhofer, which is a big German institute that support our development. We are partnering with Mekorot, who is Israeli water national water company. We are also partnering with Sheba, and above all, we have a Hong Kong partner, AI Inobio. I will describe our partnership later on. So as you told the audience, Dr. Cho, indeed we raised, without the sub-companies, because some companies we raised more, but up to now we raised 19.5 million US dollar. And a little bit surprised, all our investors, I mean, not talking about Israeli governmental grants, are coming from China mainland and Hong Kong. And actually, most of the investment came from the Bay Area, like Hong Kong, Zhuhai, and so we have a lot of interest to be there and to continue developing our good relation with Hong Kong and the Bay Area. Talking about our partner in Hong Kong, so I asked our partner ACH to describe their business, and they put it like solar services. So they are basically, they have an accounting firm, Nordson, and they're providing us a great introduction and also helping us to establish sub companies. We have a sub company in Zhuhai, and we intend to open one in Hong Kong. They drive our partnership with AI Inobio, which is a company that actually push our business in Asia Pacific. They are coaching us, help us to do market analysis, and of course, they are a major part of our fundraising. Without them, we could not raise funds from this area. And sometimes people asking me, what is the secret to do good business in Hong Kong, mainland China? I would say, the first thing is to have a personal contact with the people. Okay, until the COVID-19, we used to come to Hong Kong every month, and now, of course, we are limited, but we keep a very strong connection with our partner, a daily connection. And, ACH introduced us to a company named AI Inobio, which is founded and, owner is Dr. George So, is our B-round investor and also a member in our board. Basically, Inobio, which is located in Hong Kong, is licensing and riding on the new site biotech vision sensing with the device that called SpectraLite. So beside the chip, we have developed a small spectrometer and this spectrometer, I will show later, but this is something that was developed based on our chip and used for healthcare. So of course, once we have such a partner in the Hong Kong, they help us to drive the technology and support the local customer that we have. If anyone want to communicate with our partner, this is their contact. And I want to maybe explain more in detail about our two, divisions. So Spectral, we did actually founded a company with Sheba Medical Center for pathogen detection. Now, the first question you probably ask, if we are capable of identifying the COVID-19, and the answer is yes. We have developed SpectraLite together with an application that, of course, it's part of our offering. And in APAC, as I said, we are active through AI Inobio. And the idea of sampling is like you are doing in PCR. So basically, we have two methods. One is nasal pharyngeal, which we take part of the swab liquid. We put it in a small cuvette like this and put it here. And this device is connected by USB to an application. And within few seconds, it's not a mistake, few seconds, you get a result whether there is infected or not infected with COVID-19, but actually not only with COVID-19, with other pathogens as well. So we did some experiment with tropical viruses such as dengue, chikungunya. We also did a clinical trial about women health. We're using the very same device, but of course with different software. So currently we are active in 41 active pilots around the world. Actually, I think it's already 43. And, we are working hard in order to get all the regulation. Until now, we got a CE mark in Europe. We are going to get MHRA very soon, UK MHRA. And of course, the key to operate in Hong Kong is also to get TGA and afterward maybe CFDA for China. And we'll do this through our partner in Hong Kong. But the idea is that we are bringing something that is really, really a game changer to the healthcare world, a device that is capable of checking things in a matter of seconds. So this is how it look like, our, production. And I think that in this sense, our assembly line and production are mostly in China mainland, like Shenzhen. And I think that's an ideal combination of Israeli innovation together with the power of the, China, Hong Kong markets, and, also fundraising to make it happen. Until now, I just covered briefly what we do in the Spectral. As I said, we have also a company that's doing water monitoring, but I don't want to lose too much focus. With your permission, few words about the 3D. So we have a 3D, also 3D facility, business unit. So we are capable of capturing, a picture in 3D at once. And this goes to application like, automotive, robots. We have a lot of customers from China that using our sensor for LiDAR, but not only from China, we have also from Austria, a company that use our chip to do a adaptive front light system, which is basically capturing the other car light and trying not to blind them. So it's called adaptive front light system. We already have an agreement with them. Basically, this is how it looked like. We are doing chips, we are doing models, and eventually also doing system. And, 6 years ago, I didn't know much about Hong Kong, China. And for me, New Site Imaging is the first company that I collaborate with, investor and partner from the East. And I find it very, very good. The connection is very tight. The personal connection is good. And as you can see, we are running fast now as a company and looking for other partners and probably investor. I didn't mention we have an intention to go to IPO this year in Israel, and we had a roadshow in a cyberport in Hong Kong, organized by ACH, and you may know that Israel and Hong Kong stock market has a kind of agreement that we can do a dual listing afterwards. So it's on our spectrum of possibility to go there. Yeah, I mean that's more or less about us.
Right. So thank you, Eddie. Thanks for sharing your successful stories in Hong Kong, your good experience in Hong Kong. So now let's invite Edward to share his portion of the stories. Edward, please.
Hi, good afternoon, everyone. Let me share my presentation to all of you. So, good afternoon, everyone. It's my great honor to be invited as one of the guest speakers of this webinar. My name is Edward, the founder and CEO of AE Majoris Group. Before my sharing, I would like to spare a few minutes to introduce AE Majoris Group to you. AE Majoris Group is a leading corporate advisory and management consultancy group headquartered in Hong Kong. We are dedicated in serving the Hong Kong capital market by providing one-stop and all-round tailor-made financial solutions to clients around the world. With a group of professionals who have in-depth industry knowledge and vast professional experience, AE Majoris is an ideal platform connecting global clients and Hong Kong financial market. AE Majoris Group has a CPA firm and holds 4 types of license issued by Hong Kong Securities and Futures Commission, enabling us to provide all-class capital market services to our client. Our business starts with a 70 square feet office with only 2 employees. We have expanded our operation into 5 segments, including financial advisory, accounting, business development, corporate services, and investment. In 2016, we opened our first China office in Guangzhou, expanding our team to over 50 professionals. Over the past 10 years, we have served over 120 clients over the world and across more than 20 different industries. Since 2012, we have assisted tens of companies listed on Hong Kong Stock Exchange, and no doubt our achievement is well recognized. And now I would like to share about our stories to develop the European market to all of you. In 2018, we were invited to meet up Mr. Jan von Siemen, the founder of Thematic, which was the first biotech company we invest in Europe. After our first conversation, they were excited by the initiative of the biotech board launched by Hong Kong Stock Exchange and its fundraising potential. A year after that, in January 2019, we successfully completed the investment and marked a milestone for our first step in Europe. Since 2019, we had been keeping close contacts with a number of companies in Germany, Italy, Switzerland, and other European countries. In 2020, we were so lucky to find another potential medtech company, Fibresonic, and it became our second biotech case we have been invested. Throughout the process, we found it challenging that the European companies are often reluctant in bringing their companies to Hong Kong for IPO. At the same time, it's also very hard for startup and small to medium-sized European companies to obtain local fundings. Hong Kong as one of the global financing hub, with experienced teams and expertise in fundraising, we can see the synergy to achieve a win-win situation by bringing China and Hong Kong fundings to European market. To echo our mission, connect beyond boundaries. With the Hong Kong government's supportive policies, we have been building up bridges between European companies and Hong Kong capital market. As of today, there are 40 biotech companies being listed in the Hong Kong Stock Exchange under Chapter 18A. And among those companies, only 9 companies are related to medical devices. On top of it, we are so interested in companies that can bring out multiplying impact to the industries. And I'm honored to present the 2 cases that we have invested in to you. The first one is Thematic. Thematic has launched its first product in 2015 and is now a world-leading developer of surgical intelligence and automation technologies being used in operating rooms in the hospital. Thematic software is used more than 4,000 operating rooms in hospitals over the world, has supported more than 30,000 surgeons, and improved care of more than 2 million patients. All things are difficult before they are easy. In early of 2018, when we start the discussion with Beyond about the potential investment, both parties were having uncertainties about this cooperation as there are only few comparables. And even up to now, there are still no European companies have been listed in Hong Kong Stock Exchange under Chapter 18A. After a year of dedicated work and negotiation, we were finally came up with a consensus and complete our first investment in January 2019. Our investment support Thematic's development and the company sustained through COVID-19 pandemic. Other than providing financial support, we also assist them in opening and penetrating the China market. We light up hospital network in China and Macau for the Asia expansion. Thematic is now doing great despite the influence of COVID pandemic. Since our investment has been completed and they closed several rounds of funding from well-known investors such as Reliance, Barclays, Intel, BlackRock. So the second case I'd like to present to you is Fibresonic. Fibresonic is a German company focusing on pioneer hearing technology for a new class of hearing devices that overcome the boundaries of today's hearing aids. It offers the natural hearing feelings to the patient suffering from mild to moderate hearing loss. Unlike Thematic, which is a revenue-generating company since 2016, Fibresonic's core product is still under the development stage. Despite their building up the team with limited resources, the whole development team have a very strong vision to create an innovative hearing aid product that will change the whole industry. We have been impressed by their concepts and passions of the team. Together with the prior experience we have gained, the cooperation was finally confirmed in middle of 2020. Together with our investment and support, Fibresonic obtained the CE mark for its core product in May 2021. We provide assistance in building strategies and share our network. We line up the universities in Hong Kong to carry out further clinical studies and trials of its core product. Thus, we are looking forward to see more expansion in Hong Kong, Macau, and China market in coming years. We found that there are so many good startups and small and medium-sized companies in Europe with innovative concepts and products in biotech and medtech field. We are also very interested to look into details of these companies. Our investment criteria are biotech and medtech companies that fall into the definition of biotech company under the Hong Kong listing rules, with good prospective and multiplying impact to the industry and human community, with keen interest with Asian market expansion, especially the Greater Bay Area, which covers 11 cities with 70 million population, and considering Hong Kong Stock Exchange as one of the fundraising platforms. Up to now, we have received support from various universities and organizations in Hong Kong. such as the organizer of today's webinar, Hong Kong Trade Development Council. We are committed and more than ready to expand our business in Europe. For example, we just sent a team of 4 members under the leadership of our director, Mr. Joe Lam, to Europe for a month. And we're planning to set up our first European office in early 2022. Last but not the least, thanks everyone for joining today's webinar. I will pass the time to Dr. Chow for the Q&A session, and I will be there to answer your questions. Wish everyone have a nice day and good health. Thank you.
Thank you, Edward. Thanks for sharing your successful story in maximizing the European collaboration and technology with Asia. So, since I haven't seen any questions posting, so may I kick off with my first question? My first question is for Eddie. So, Eddie, who are your major competitors and what are your edges that you offer to your customers?
Okay, I will answer first about the machine vision. So machine vision, we basically sell the 3D chips. So our main competitor are big sensor companies from Japan, mainly from Japan. But as a startup, we must be better than these giant companies. And we have indeed developed our enhanced time-of-flight technology, ETOF technology, which does everything better, faster, more accurate, and of course, much cheaper. So we make things affordable. Now in the spectral, during the time that we are in this business, and since we developed our first spectral chip, we haven't seen something that is similar to that. And why we build, this spectrally device? It is basically a device that is, it looks small, but it's a full spectrometer. On one side, you have the light source. On the other side, you have the capturing the camera, the spectral camera. And for doing this, we needed to combine chip design, real-time programming, AI, mechanical design, optical design. So all this discipline together in our company, make us very unique in the landscape. So I would say for machine vision, it's Japanese company. For spectral, we are kind of advancing the world in at least 2 years, to my estimation.
Thank you. Nice to hear that. And my second question is also to Eddie. Maybe, I finished my questions with Eddie first, right? So by what percentage would you consider as the split of fundings that you managed to raise from the Israeli government support or grants versus those you managed to raise in Asia?
Okay, so it's a simple calculation. Until now, we raised something like 12% out of grants versus the rest coming from Asia, China, Hong Kong. And, the point is, it's not only that it's 12% by Israeli grants, but it's also, I think we are maybe the only Israeli semiconductor company that was seeded by, Chinese investor from the beginning. And from the beginning, we target Asia and especially, China mainland, Hong Kong as a major place and market. And even now, if there was no COVID-19, we would have already our office open in Hong Kong. It will probably happen. That's what we are. I mean, we are Israeli Chinese company. Yeah. Sorry about that.
We look forward to have your setup in Hong Kong very soon.
Yeah. Sure.
By the way, we received a question from Mr. Andrew Yun, who's asking, Eddie, has spectral light received either CE or FDA certification?
Yes, Spectralit received this year CE certification, CE-IVD certification, and that's what is enabling us to work in Europe. Based on this CE, we filed the MHRA, UK MHRA. It's like the UK, FDA. And in parallel, we are working to get EUA approval in United States, but it might take longer because there are two criteria of checks. There is a PCR and there is the antigen. So we are kind of a new creature that need to be categorized. So it might take a little bit longer, but we are on the way to do it. And of course, for Hong Kong and Australia, we want also to have obtained the TGA, and our partner AI Nobio in Hong Kong also are on the way to get the CFDA for the device. Yeah, that's the idea.
Good, thank you. From the floor, we have Joshua Liu asking Edward, do you mind sharing with us your key to success for tapping into the European market? Edward, please.
Thanks, Dr. Chow, and thanks to Joshua for your questions. I guess this is a very big question, but we can back to basic. When we are talking about doing business, always the top of the priority is to find the trustworthy partner. It's so hard to build up the business starting from zero, especially I've been always asked by a question, why we need to go to Hong Kong for listing, which takes us 12 hours for the flight. And there are so many business opportunities in between these 12 hours distance. And so I'm so lucky, or maybe my team is so lucky that we found the right partner in Germany, which including Dr. Werner, Beyond, Dr. Dominic. We have been, we are always counting our blessing that we find the right partner to start the first case in Europe. And from time to time, as we need to build a new market, it spent plenty of time for us to open and penetrate that market. So actually, long before we have made the first investment, we need to go back to the clock in 2018. We already start our planning to open this blue ocean to bring the European companies to Hong Kong. When we are talking about the e-serial, we need to turn the clock even back to a earlier time. Actually, the first e-serial company that I get in touch is in 2011. That means 10 years ago. I've been introduced by my mentor, a company from Israel, and they wish us to provide a 5 series services. And even up to now, they are still our good business partner, and they have already connected more than 10 companies to penetrate and enter into the China market. So to make it short, I guess, not just about opening a new market, but when we're talking about doing business, always we need to find the right partner. Thank you.
Thank you. So, Edward, I have another question for you. So, you mentioned a little bit about the new Hong Kong Stock and Exchange new economy reform. So, how would you make good use of that portion of the opportunity, and how you help your clients to fundraise using this a new platform?
Okay, thanks, Dr. Chow. Actually, I think Hong Kong government, including the regulators in Hong Kong, always try to have some innovative ideas to make Hong Kong become a more successful fundraising platform all over the world. When we are talking about the largest fundraising platform over the world, like US, Japan, UK, actually we are talking about a country. But if we look into Hong Kong, actually it's a city with China support. So Hong Kong is an amazing place that able to build up one of the largest financial hubs in the world. And that's the reason why when we look into some well-developed stock market like US, they have been already implement the new policy to attract some new technology companies or biotechnologies company to be listed in NASDAQ for a long period of time. So actually in 2018, we think that is a exactly very good innovative policies to launch the new chapter. And also at the same time, I'm thinking that it's by luck, actually, we're also given opportunity to meet up our business partner in Germany and also in Netherlands and Switzerland. So by that time, we start to think about how to penetrate the European market. Of course, the path is not easy, and because it's always hard to be the first one. But we are proud to say that together with the team hard efforts, and also we have got numerous support from the regulators and also the Hong Kong government. Just like the Trade Development Council today, they invite us to be their guest speaker for this webinar. We have given a lot of opportunities to expand our network, not just into Germany, not just into Netherlands, and not just into Switzerland and England, but all over the world. So throughout the hard process in the last 4 years, we finally have some accomplishment, and we wish to keep our effort to promote Hong Kong as a very good fundraising platform, especially for the new technology and the biotech companies.
Thank you, Edward. So since we still have 2 more minutes to go, may I ask the last question that is for both Edward and Ali. So maybe I ask Edward first. So from your experience, before a foreign company being listed in Hong Kong, what are the major hurdles that they may encounter?
I would like to say, from my experience, all the scenario for all companies are different. They are facing different kind of the hurdles and obstacles for bringing them to Hong Kong. Maybe the shareholders have different point of view, worry about the jurisdiction, worry about the rules and regulations are different. And also there are so many capital market all over the world, like what I just mentioned, maybe US, maybe Singapore, that so competitive that they have a lot of other choices. So I guess the biggest hurdle is to how to promote Hong Kong as one of the most sophisticated and well-developed financial hubs to them. And we need to give them comfort and confidence. So that's why we would like to make the first step to show all our friends and business partners in Europe and other countries that you can bring your company to Hong Kong for listing with our showcases. So I pass the time to Ali.
Ali, my question to you is actually, when you do some fundraisings in Hong Kong, what kind of hurdles that you face?
Yeah, we are lucky because you know, we keep you know, communicating with a partner that know exactly how to approach, who to approach, what is the culture, because you know there is a gap in the culture whatever you do, and our partner is you know, doing the work for us. So we were able to raise funds from Hong Kong without visiting. Actually, this is the major obstacle. Let's say, because you know what I learned about Chinese investor and you know, Hong Kong investor, that they want to come to visit. They want us to come to visit. So it's kind of developing the you know, the communication between the parts. And the COVID-19 now it's not exactly enabling this. But I think that today world must adjust to this, including the fundraising. We must adjust to the new reality and you know, consider more remote investment and remote work than before. So that's basically my thinking.
Thanks, Ali. So from the screen, I also see one new question pop up from Jarvis. So his question is, the costs of raising funds in Hong Kong are much cheaper than those in London. Would you please advise how you work with your clients in making the best out of this, especially for SMEs? So, Edward?
Yes. Thanks, Jarvis. Actually, your question is excellent, and you are asking about a course on IPO 101 in Hong Kong, which is a big topic. So, but due to the time limit, to make it short, your answer, your statement is correct that the listing cost in Hong Kong is much cheaper in London. And actually, in my career life, I've encountered a lot of companies in London to get in touch with us and compare about the listing requirement of London, US, and Hong Kong. And frankly speaking, all the countries have their competitive advantages, and also for Hong Kong. And if you're asking about the SMEs, I think Hong Kong has already created a really excellent platform for those companies to be listed in Hong Kong and to do the fundraising and also to promote their companies. And I guess maybe after the presentation, we will leave our contacts to you, and you are more than welcome to contact me and also maybe the Trade Development Council, the UK branch, and I do believe they will provide you excellent answer and all the support you need. Thank you.
Thank you, thank you. So I would assume this would be all the questions that we answer today or in this very limited time. So thanks for your precious time today, and we look forward to have you all joining us again in our next ECAI webinar. So have a nice day. Bye.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Bye-bye. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Dr. Chow, and all the speakers. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.